I was trying to explain, the first security measure you need to put in place, that's for your website accounts. For all your website accounts, these security measures are very important. And when I talk of your website accounts, I'm referring to your ULTIMA business account or your DeFi account. Those are accounts on the website directly. What are the precautionary measures you need to put in place to safeguard that account from the reach of hackers? The first security measure is make sure that in your login details, there are two elements that constitute your login details, notably the Gmail and your password. Your password must always be very, very strong, very strong. Make sure that you have a strong password. When I say a strong password, don't always look for passwords which are very easy, because probably each time you want to gain access into your account, you don't always want to waste time. You don't want to spend too much time typing a long password. It is very important. It's for your own good. Let the password be very long. And of course, the system has made it in such a way that the minimum, you must have a minimum of 8 characters. But trust me, if you really want to make it strong, make sure that you have a minimum of 10 characters. Your minimum should be 10. The company makes its own 8. Make yours to be 10. And when you make yours to be 10, don't choose a password which is easy to be read. In fact, you can do a combination of something that makes absolutely no sense. Like this one, this is an example here. You see BGN23% 3, hash ATW. There is definitely no meaning that anyone can make out of this. Nobody can make any meaning out of it. So don't try to get your own password to be something that will always be that will always appear easy for you to read. No, it's not about that. It's about the safety of your account. It's not about the ease at which you can easily, recall or read the password. It's not about that. It's about, first and foremost, protecting the account. But of course, it's also important for you to always try to recall the password you are actually using. It might not actually be something in the form of a word that you can read. But at least always make sure that you are able to retain each character that is inside the password in that order. It's very important for the safety of your account. I know why I'm saying this. That's the first measure. The second one, let that website be Google account. In fact, let it be Google authenticated. You must protect it with your Google authenticator. If there's anyone on this Zoom right now, if your website account is not protected using the 2FA, please make sure that you do it. Go and install your 2FA. Follow the procedure. We have tutorial videos on how to install the 2FA. If you've not done it yet, there's a tutorial video on how to go about it. But that is not enough. Please, the majority of people who have Google Authenticator installed and which is protecting their accounts. But there is one very important stage that most of them are always missing. And once you miss out on that stage, and something happens to your phone, maybe your phone gets damaged, or it gets stolen, or something happens to your phone, when you've not done that last stage, that is all. You will be in serious trouble. Serious trouble. It means that if you are not careful, you will never even be able to enter into that account, even though the account is actually yours. But the fact that you are no longer in custody of that phone, you will suffer the consequences. So what is this thing that you're supposed to do? After installing the 2FA, please, assuming that this is exactly how the 2FA dashboard looks like. This is just an example that I'm showing you on this screenshot. You have Google Authenticator here, you have already installed. You've actually connected a 2FA security feature to your website account. And it is giving you now already this code here. Once you copy this code, that's in the process of you trying to log into your account. You will definitely be prompted to come here and copy this code, and then you input it where you will be asked to input the code. Once you do that, then you'll be able to have access into your account. So, assuming that this is your in fact, this is your 2FA open, what do? Look at the top right corner. You will find these 3 dots. Click on these 3 dots. Once you click on these 3 dots, you have this side window that will appear with a series of options. You have how it works. view in dark mode, transfer accounts. You have other options. Come to where it is written transfer accounts. Click on it. Once you click on transfer accounts, this is how the new window will appear. The new window will appear like this. Once it appears this way, choose on the first option which says export account. Click on it. Once you click on it, it will display a QR code. Please listen to me very well. This part that I'm explaining is very important. Many people neglect it, but there are so many people who are suffering today because they neglected this last part. It is not just enough for you to associate a 2FA security feature to your account and you think that is all. That's not all. If you fail to do this one, just begin to pray that nothing happens to your phone, that particular phone you are using. If it gets bad or it is stolen, you will be in trouble because you did not do this thing that I'm explaining. So once you click on export account, a QR code will appear. Snap that QR code because you cannot do a screenshot of it. The system has made it in such a way that you cannot take a screenshot of it. So you have to get another phone. Use that phone, snap it, snap that QR code on it. When you snap it, please look for a possibility and print it and file it among your private documents. The documents that you actually give a high level of protection to, go and put it inside. So much so that if someday that particular phone gets bad or it is missing or something happens to it and it shows that you can no longer have access to the Google Authenticator you had installed on it to protect your account, if you happen to get a new phone, if you get a new phone and you are trying to log into that same account, if you get to that point where you will be prompted to input the 6-digit PIN code coming from your 2FA, and the only place you can get those digits will be from that phone which is no longer in your hands, or that phone which is bad, or that phone which is stolen. They will continue to send a 6-digit code only to that phone. And since you are no longer in control of the phone, you are in trouble. It means you can no longer have access into your account. So for you to be able to get it back into the new phone you are using, you will be expected to do what? To install another Google Authenticator application on the new phone. Then through the scanner, which is on it, you will have to scan the QR code. This QR code which you would have printed and filed when you were doing the installation for the first time. So once you scan the QR code, then that your Google Authenticator which is on that phone, which is no longer in your custody, will be automatically imported into the new phone. Then you continue to make use of it. It's as simple as that. So please make sure that you follow this procedure that I'm giving you and you generate what? The QR code for your Google Authenticator. It is very important. And make sure that you keep it very safe when nobody will be able to have access to. Because if somebody is able to have access to it, that is also all. You've also sold out the details of your account. It's very important. Now, the next precautionary measure you also need to take has to do with practicing the habit of always using mobile data. Each time you want to access your account or each time you want to access your wallet on your phone, please. Many people have had their accounts hacked because they were not, actually taking these precautionary measures. This one even is very common. Many people always say they have hacked my account. Somebody is now controlling my account. Maybe WhatsApp account, for instance. The reason, in fact, one of the popular reasons is the fact that many people always like using public Wi-Fi. Please, if you can cultivate the habit of not always using the Wi-Fi that you meet anywhere, you just find yourself somewhere and there is free Wi-Fi there. You just connect your phone to that Wi-Fi and the next thing, you're already logging into your account, maybe on the website, or you are getting into your wallet. You are logging into your wallet without being sure if that Wi-Fi you are using is a protected Wi-Fi. Is it censored? Is it a secured Wi-Fi? You don't know about it. Simply because it is a free Wi-Fi, you are using it. If it happens that way, that you connect yourself to a Wi-Fi, which is not a protected Wi-Fi, and there are other people who are connected to the same Wi-Fi, if they say hacker, what's the name? Using that same Wi-Fi, also at that same time, if you log into your account, there is a high chance that that hacker will be able to catch your login details. You'll be able to capture your login details. And once he does that, he can have direct access into your account. And if he wants to be extremely very wicked to you, what will he do? He will get into your account, change the password and put his own password, substitute your own password for his own, and that will be all. Henceforth, that account belongs to him. Because you're making use of what? An unprotected public Wi-Fi. So to be on the safe side, what must you do? Use mobile data. Always practice the habit of using mobile data, which means that it's data you are not sharing with any other person. Also avoid sharing your own hotspot with other people. If you can avoid doing all of this, trust me, you will actually be doing, in fact, you actually be doing a lot of good for the security of your account. Then the next precautionary measure you have to take also, that's if you are capable of. Anyway, this one has to do particularly with the wallet. Let me talk of the smart wallet in particular. The smart wallet also needs a high level of security. If you joke with the security of it, you will sell out all your funds. Remember, with a DeFi project, you get paid every day for the next 100 years. As a matter of fact, for a lifetime. Imagine that something that is giving you daily benefits, a hacker succeeds to hack it and is receiving all the benefits that you are supposed to be getting every day. They are going back to the hacker. I'm pretty sure that you will not be happy. And if you know very well that you will not be happy, then do these things that I'm showing you now. Make sure that you practice them. Do all of them. The first one that you need to do as a security measure is that you must use a very strong and non-coherent 6-digit PIN. For your wallets, that's for those of you who have the wallet. Before you have access into the wallet, you must password protect it using what? A 6-digit PIN code. Now, what I'm trying to say is, the 6-digit PIN code you are going to use there, make sure that it is not a coherent 6-digit PIN code. When I say coherent, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the kind of code that somebody will use. A code which is made of 6 digits. Somebody will go and put a code as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a coherent set of numbers. It is very possible for somebody to guess that kind of a PIN code and get it right. Or you do the opposite. Your PIN code is like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You do that kind of thing, you are equally increasing the probability of a hacker getting to guess that code and to have access into your account. But if you have, non-coherent digits, like, for instance, you can start with 3, 1, 9, 7, 2. You give gaps between digits like that, you mix them up. Then you are actually increasing the chances, or you are reducing the chances of a hacker getting to guess that PIN code. That's what I mean. Actually, there are 2 PIN codes that you're expected to have there. You have the first 6-digit PIN code is to permit you have access into your account. Then there's also a possibility, assuming that maybe a hacker or somebody is able to have access into your account, and maybe the person wants to transfer funds out of your account without your consent. You can also put a password that is protecting the area of payouts. So you can have a 6-digit PIN code which is managing access into your account, and another set of 6-digit PIN code which is managing payouts from your account. So if you want to send something outside of your account, there's another 6-digit PIN code. You can decide to do it that way. But be careful. Don't just be using 6 PIN codes because you've heard that it's good to use different PIN codes. Because if you use different PIN codes and you end up forgetting the PIN codes, then you have as well shot yourself also in the leg. Because your funds will remain useless in there. Because the only person who can have access to them, who actually knows the PIN code, is you. And so if you cannot also remember, then it's also a big problem for yourself. So you must be able to manage this very well. That's number 1. Number 2, your smart wallet must be protected in another way. What is this second method of ensuring protection on your smart wallet? Aside the 6-digit PIN code, if you can associate your fingerprints or your face ID recognition, it will also be good. That one, you are reinforcing also the security feature. Then, secondly, every wallet has what we call mnemonics. Those 12-word recovery phrase. Now, those mnemonics, you need to write them down in a particular order. Follow the order in which the mnemonic words appear to you when you are generating them. After copying the mnemonics, please don't consider it to be enough yet. Don't consider it to be enough. Why am I saying so? Because there are some people whom in the course of copying down the mnemonic words, they might make mistakes in some of the spellings that they are writing. You know, somebody who is writing can make an error in the spelling of a word. Or he might make a mistake, copy a certain word in place of another word that he or she was supposed to copy there. You mix up everything. And once you mix up everything like that, it becomes a problem. If you want to use those mnemonics to recover the wallet, maybe in case something happens, you will realize that you will be unable to recover that wallet because you did a mix-up in the way you did the copying. So, what are you advised to do besides copying those mnemonics? You are advised also to generate the QR code. Generate also is QR code. It's very important. You must have the two. Have the two. It's very important. Print them out and do what? Equally file them among your very important documents. Keep them very safe. Number 3, avoid using non-censored public Wi-Fi. I've already explained that when I was talking about the case of website accounts. Number 4, this is very important. Very, very important. At least if you can have a minimum of 2 storage wallets, you also be doing a lot of good to yourself. Meaning that what? All the ULTIMA tokens, all the smart coins that you need to be storing, you need to be holding them. Practice the habit of not using just one wallet to store all your digital assets. Don't do that. Because if that wallet is compromised by some means, it means that all your resources would have been gone. All your assets will be gone also. So try to do a balanced sharing. Have at least 2 different wallets. Let one of the 2 wallets be a principal wallet, which you can be using regularly for your daily transactions or whatever. Let the other wallet be strictly for storage. Means that anything that goes into that wallet, you are keeping it maybe for the future or whatever. You are keeping it for the future. It means that you don't consult that wallet regularly. Anything that enters there is maybe, that one is like your bank, it's like your reserve. Then there is another wallet, which is the one that you can be using on daily basis for your daily transactions. Then you must make sure that a majority of your assets should be in the storage wallet. You keep just a few quantity of digital assets in your regular wallet that you use for your daily transactions and so on. That way, if that your wallet, which you use very often, gets compromised, and if it happens that you lose all the assets inside, it is not bad. At least you still have your reserve somewhere as a backup. Let me call it that way. So it's very important. Then also to end up, if you can use an independent storage, this one I usually advise each time when I'm organizing my seminars, my offline seminars, I always insist on this point. If you really want to be extra careful from hackers, if you don't want any hacker to ever have anything to do with you, this is what you should do. Get an independent storage device. What do I mean? For instance, you can decide to buy a new smartphone. On that smartphone, install your wallet on it. Then, if you install WhatsApp, the WhatsApp application on that phone, make sure the only person who has access to that WhatsApp account is you. Meaning that no other person on WhatsApp can send a message to you on that phone. Nobody should be able to reach you on WhatsApp through that phone. So the WhatsApp which is on that phone, you are the only person who communicates with it. Meaning that your regular phone that has WhatsApp on it, if you want to communicate with that special phone which you have bought, the WhatsApp which is on that phone can only receive a WhatsApp message coming from your own regular WhatsApp account. No other person should be able to send a message to it. So once you store your wallet on it, you are very sure that there is never a day a hacker will have access to that phone, because nobody can send any information to it except it is you. So it means that that phone, everything that you keep on it is completely out of reach of any hacker, because nobody can have access to it through Telegram, through WhatsApp or even through Facebook or any other malicious, or using any malicious link through any social media site, because that phone is not connected to any of them. That way you are sure that your resources will stay safe. So this method, if you can employ it, trust me, you will actually be guaranteeing the security of your account. Now, the next very important thing I want to talk about, probably before we call it quit for tonight, I want to talk about people who already have these splits, who are already benefiting daily from these splits. There's a regular question that always comes up. When is the right time for you to withdraw your split tokens? For instance, for somebody who says, because somebody can decide to say, no, I don't want to be doing daily withdrawals. I want to accumulate at least for a number of days before I withdraw to my wallet. Now the question is, when is the appropriate time for you to do the withdrawal? There are actually two categories of persons involved here. You have the first category of persons. These are persons who can be doing withdrawals every day. The next category of persons are people who can be doing withdrawals after a certain number of days. Unfortunately, many people don't know about this. And that's why they keep making the same mistake and they lose a lot of smart coins. They are losing a lot of smart coins because they keep doing this thing without knowing. Some of them actually do it out of ignorance. Now, who is the person who has the possibility to be doing withdrawal of ULTIMA tokens paid through split contracts every day? Who is supposed to be doing that? This can only be done by somebody who has so many splits. For instance, somebody who has a minimum of, let's say, 15. If you have a minimum of 10, 15 split contracts that you are purchasing your account, then you can actually be doing withdrawals every day if you choose to do that. Or somebody has up to 30, for instance, you can actually decide to be doing withdrawals every day. But if you have just one split contract, like this case, look at this picture here. This person has just one split contract. Look at the number of ULTIMA tokens that the person has been able to gather under this one split contract. The person has been able to gather 0.000461. And from what the person told me, the person has been able to spend more than 25 days to gather this total quantity. Imagine. The person took up to 25 days to gather this total quantity of ULTIMA tokens because he had just one split contract. If this person with just one split contract, who has taken up to 25 days to gather this small quantity, assuming that the person was supposed to be doing withdrawals every day, because every day, what quantity of the ULTIMA tokens are paid to the person? Look at this is the quantity here, 0.000040 after a decimal point, 17. 0.000017 ULTIMA tokens that the person is receiving every day, 0.000017. Imagine that the person also decides to be withdrawing 0.000017 ULTIMA tokens every day. If this kind of a person should embark on doing these daily withdrawals of an amount as small as this, then the person will instead be shooting himself in the foot without knowing. Why do I say so? Because for the person to be able to withdraw this quantity, the person must do what? He will be able to, in fact, he will be obliged to burn a certain quantity of smart coins. And the smart coins that the person will burn will be more expensive than this amount of ULTIMA tokens that the person is withdrawing. So it doesn't make sense for the person to do a withdrawal. And for you to do that withdrawal, you have to spend something that is more expensive than that withdrawal that you want to do. So it is disadvantageous to do daily withdrawals having a small number of blockchain shares, or rather, a small number of shares or split contracts. For instance, 1, if you have 1 is small, 2 is small, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is small. For you to be doing withdrawals every day is very small. Because the number of smart coins you burn might turn out to be more expensive than the quantity of the ULTIMA tokens you are withdrawing. So don't do those kind of withdrawals on a daily basis. Otherwise, you instead be losing without knowing. So what do you do in that case? Rather allow, these are daily payments to accumulate for at least, let's say, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. It's not a financial advice. I'm not advising anybody. I'm not giving any particular number of days. It's just an example I'm citing. So somebody can decide to spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days to collect a good quantity before withdrawing the ULTIMA tokens. That way you are sure that the smart coins that you burn as gas fee will be less expensive compared to the ULTIMA tokens you are withdrawing. Then on the other hand, you have people who have a huge number of split contracts, maybe from 10 upward. If you are that kind of person, you can also choose to accumulate for maybe 2 days or 3 days before you withdraw. Or if you choose to be doing withdrawals on daily basis, that's also fine. Because that way you are sure at least that what you are withdrawing also will at least be bigger than the gas fee you are going to burn. But that would depend also on when you are actually doing the withdrawals. Why do I say so? The disadvantage with those who have, those who are supposed to accumulate these ULTIMA tokens for several days before withdrawing. Let me show you one disadvantage or a major disadvantage with those people. Assuming that every day you are getting 0.000017, and it shows that you have spent 5 days, and each of those 5 days you have collected 0.000017. And it so happens that on the 6th day, on day number 6, the price or the quantity of ULTIMA tokens corresponding to the total number of splits that are bought or that have been bought in the entire system changes from 0.00017 to maybe 0.00016. And it shows that on day 1, you receive 0.00017. Day 2, 0.00017. Day 3, same thing. Day 4, same thing. Day 5, same thing. And then it shows that on day 6, the quantity that is now paid per split contract has dropped from 0.0017 to 0.0016. Those your previous payment, which you are supposed to have withdrawn of 0.00017 each for the past 5 days, they will be automatically changed to 0.00016. All of them, each one will be brought down to 0.00016. All of them, they will be reevaluated at that price, which means that you will instead be losing something. Because if you had already withdrawn at 0.00017, then you would have been sure to have 0.00017 times 5. But since you waited on the 6th day, the quantity in the market now dropped to 0.0016. All the ones that you have not drawn, which were all at 0.0017, will be changed to 0.00016. That's the disadvantage of keeping or of accruing these ULTIMA tokens also in your wallet before withdrawing. So having understood this, you need to now understand what you're supposed to do. So much so that if you decide to accrue your ULTIMA tokens for a certain number of days, bear it in mind that if the quantity that is paid per split contract changes from a higher value to a smaller value, all the benefits that you were supposed to have withdrawn, which you are not withdrawn, would all be reevaluated at the new value. So you should be able to understand. That's why they say it is advantageous for those who have so many splits to be withdrawn probably on daily basis or on regular intervals, as opposed to those who have a small number of split contracts who have to wait for several days before doing it. So it's very important. Now, the last but not the least, this one is actually, I don't know whether I should call it an advice, but again, I always want to hold back to avoid calling it an advice. It's not a financial advice. But what I can actually share with you, which I believe can actually go a long way to help so many people, is, please, the ULTIMA tokens that you are making from your tokens, don't engage in consuming all of them, like always rushing to the market to sell. This is what you can do. This one is just an example. It's not a financial advice. It's just an example. Once you make your profit from ULTIMA tokens, same thing with smart coins. It's the same thing with the smart coins you are getting from your swap legacy coins. You will do the same thing. Now, what do? You can calculate 50% of what you have met. Calculate 50%, create another wallet, a standalone wallet, maybe on a separate phone somewhere. Call it a storage wallet. Anything that goes into that wallet doesn't come out again. You are storing it for the future. Store it for the future. Don't always think of the immediate. So you might decide to say, okay, if I've received this amount as benefits after accruing coins for, let's say, 10 days, I'll calculate 50% of what I've made for the past 10 days, I will send it to that wallet. Anything that gets into that wallet, I never bring it out again. It will stay there till the kingdom come. When I say till the kingdom come, it's a way of saying that they will stay in there for at least, let's say 3, 4, 5 years. Whereby if the price of ULTIMA token has gone very far up, it will not yield me something also substantial. Then 30% of it, I can conserve 30% to use them to buy more split contracts for myself. I can continue to use 30% to buy more split contracts. Then 10%, I can decide to use 10% to do what? To go to the market and sell directly and catch out the USDTs and use it to solve maybe one of my issues or some issues that I have. So that one is like the one that goes to your pocket. You can spend that one. That's the one that is spendable. Then the leftover 10%, this one is purely for traders. This one is a little secret that I'm actually sharing with you people. Now, what do you do with the 10%? This particular 10%, you send it to the exchange. You do what with it? You sell it for USDTs, but don't withdraw the USDTs. Allow the USDTs to be there. So much so that since the price of the ULTIMA token keeps dancing, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Now, the day you discover that the price of the ULTIMA token has gone down, what do? Those USDTs that you have preserved there, use them, purchase the ULTIMA tokens at that low price rate, and then you allow them there. Don't withdraw the ULTIMA tokens either. Keep them there. When the price of the ULTIMA token bounces back, what do? And goes very far up, go back to the market, sell, and make an extra profit in terms of USDTs. So this is how you can actually, even when you make that profit, still don't withdraw it. Continue to allow it there. So you can continue to build a portfolio for yourself like that gradually. And someday you'll be surprised at what you would have had inside that account by just building up what? 10%. So this is how you can actually get to distribute, the benefits you are making on daily basis from your split contract. It's very important. Now, the last but not the least, I want to tell you people about a strategy that most of us back here in Cameroon are adopting. It's true that I've not actually talked about it inside most of the WhatsApp groups. I've not spoken about it, but it's a plan that we have been working on for a while now. So now I just want to inform all of you who are on this webinar right now. We have decided to embark on what we call intercity tours. In fact, we are organizing seminars in all the major cities in Cameroon. This particular week, in fact, Sunday, to be very precise, Sunday the 29th, there is going to be a big event, ULTIMA token event taking place in Douala. This is the venue at DK Hotel or Deka Hotel in Douala. It's found at Bonaberi, around Ancien Road, Bonaberi. And that seminar is going to start at exactly 2 p.m. But the seminar is not free. The seminar is not free at all. The entry price or the entry fee is 3,000 francs CFA. This is it, like you see on the ticket. It's 3,000 francs CFA for anybody to go in. So our seminars are no longer free. We have gone past that stage because now we are sure of what we have in hand now. So we don't even need to be begging people to come and attend seminars. It's gone. So right now, anybody who is interested must pay. And the entry fee is 3,000 francs before we share strategies with you and show you how to make money with this opportunity. But now, some of us, the leaders, have decided to take it upon ourselves to subsidize this rate. So if you have somebody who is on this Zoom call right now, if you have any prospects or if you have any team members you want to send there, if the person has just 1,000 francs, if he comes, he will meet one of the leaders there because we've already contributed money for that. So once the person comes with 1,000 francs, they are going to subsidize it with 2,000 francs to permit the person participate in the seminar. This one is like a promo. It's like a promo for now. So please, those of you who are attending this Zoom right now, if you have people in and around Douala, there's a seminar on this Sunday, like you see on this flyer. You can also publicize it on your status. You can take it and publicize on your status as well. Send them to come and attend the seminar. But the entry fee is what? 3,000. But if they have 1,000, they can come. We'll subsidize it with 2,000 and they'll be able to participate in the seminar. Your prospects as well as downlines. So our seminars are no longer free. Then next month, The next city where we are going to be hosting the same seminar is Yaoundé. After Yaoundé will be the city of Boya. After Boya, we are running the seminar in Limbe. After Limbe, we are running the seminar in Bamenda. After Bamenda, we are running the seminar possibly in Kumba. After Kumba, probably we might be going to one of the northern regions. So we are going to be making this intercity tours for all 10 regions in the nation. Not just only in terms of regions, but in the major towns, because you can have several towns in a particular region. So we want to be exploiting these various towns. Now I'm giving this information so that you should know. If you have people you have been talking to back here, or you have people who are potential prospects, know that we have seminars that are running depending on the town where they find themselves. So we'll always be updating most of the groups on the, the event that will be taking place within a particular week, and of course the venue. So that if you have prospects or team members that you want them to participate, you already know exactly what to do. So this is one. This one is taking place this coming Sunday in Douala at Hotel Deka. Deka Hotel. It's found at Bonaberi around Ancien Route. And it's starting at exactly 2 p.m. We are going to be sharing knowledge on this particular business. Very, very important. So with that, I come to the end of the presentation. I want to believe there are some people who have questions. I can see Leader Tewum, who is already raising up a hand. If this Zoom goes up, please just do well to click on the same thing and you come up, so that if you have questions, I can take some of the questions to have an input to make. I can also give you the opportunity to make the input. Leader Tewum, I saw your hand up earlier on. Yes, go ahead. Open your mic. Leader Tewum, are you there? All right, probably he's not on. Okay, is there any question? Any question, please, so far?